Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, how will tonight's NBA All-Star Game draft shake out? Plus, former Patriots star Ty Law is on set to discuss the Super Bowl. And why are so many people jumping on the Eagles bandwagon? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. Tonight, we'll find out who LeBron James and Steph Curry chose for their All-Star teams. They made their picks in a secret draft yesterday, with LeBron getting the first pick since he was the top overall vote getter. They must pick from the pool of starters, which includes guys like Durant, Harden, Kyrie, the Greek Freak, and Anthony Davis. So, Shannon, who should LeBron have taken with the first pick?
Well, you know, Joy, in going to school, D's are never good. You never wanted to get a D, but in this case, it's very good. You take KD or you take AD. I believe he will take KD, because I believe he views Kevin Durant as the guy that's closest to him as far as greatness, as far as that pedestal, that pecking order. LeBron James, Kevin Durant. And he said he's trying to win the game. He's not going to let his ego get in the way. Also, this is going to give him a head start, because you know he wants to be an owner, so we're going to see how good he can pick players.
Oh, really?
Yeah, O'Brien.
So if he owns his team, he's going to also operate his team?
Yeah, I believe you got to sign off on it, Skip.
C. Michael Jordan, C. Not good. Right?
But that's what I keep telling you.
Yeah.
Bron do things a little different.
Oh,
Bron know how
so
to pick them players. Yeah. Bron know how to get them.
Well, yeah, he picked the Cleveland team. It's working out.
He ain't picked Kwame Brown. How'd that work out? he ain't picked
Adam
Morris.
I will agree with that point. I believe LeBron would be a better chooser of talent than Michael.
And he's a better basketball player, too.
Because the greater you are, the worse you are at choosing talent. So Michael's up here and LeBron's down here. There is something to that theory that the greater you are, you just can't see who can play because you're just too good.
You judge everybody by your standards,
like
so
you say,
nobody can.
Well, hey, you should be able to be. You should be able to do. No, they can't.
You're exactly
they can't do
right.
what you're doing.
Skip, the thing is, and I've seen so many people say, well, if you're so competitive, you wouldn't take Kevin Durant. What sense does that make? I mean, look, Golden State should have said, nah, KD, you stay in Oklahoma City. We don't want to be. We want to beat you. We want to compete against you. You go to the blacktop, Skip. What do? They try to get the best 5 guys. They don't say, "Oh man, you too good. I can't play with you." You try to get the best 5 guys. LeBron James will try to pick the best starting 5, and then he's gonna pick 5 more. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have some nice little lineups. And you're gonna be upset because we're gonna blow the nose off Steph Curry, because we're gonna get KD, and that means he's gonna have to Steph Curry's gonna have to get AD. Well, he might get James Harden or Boogie Cousins, but y'all better not. In either way, we're gonna get Giannis. So we're gonna get Giannis, we're gonna have a big tall lineup. Big tall one. And you know it and you hate it. I don't know why would he pick Kevin Durant, the guy that passed him. He shot that shot right in his eye.
Joy, have I spoken yet?
Because I know you.
I haven't said a word.
Okay, don't say it then.
Huh, interesting. So, out on the blacktop, as you say.
Yes.
If you're by far the best player that day on the blacktop, and you have a rival who's out there and maybe you're picking against him, you're going to choose up teams, maybe you want to pick player C, D, and E, just to show player B, your rival, I can kick your behind with anybody. Just give me anybody. I don't need to pick the best player.
Well, then why did Magic do that? Magic could have said, no, I don't want to go play with Kareem. Oh, James Worthy should have said, no, I ain't playing with Magic and Kareem. I want to go beat them.
So, to your point, are you then acknowledging that Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James?
No!
That's what you're saying?
I didn't say...
He was the MVP of the finals, so you're basically saying if you can't beat him, join up with him, correct?
No.
This is the new superstar way.
Is that what you said?
I can't beat you, Kevin, so I need you.
Is that what Kevin Durant did by joining Golden State?
Well, I'm not saying, we're talking about LeBron James. Is Kevin picking the team or is LeBron?
LeBron.
Because if LeBron is still that guy, Cap T, Cap G, then he does not pick his arch rival.
He's trying to win the game.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, so you get the best players to win.
Kevin Durant is LeBron. LeBron is Kevin.
No.
I think Kevin's
elevated. See, I told you, I knew you was going to do that, Skip.
Do what?
No, he's not. LeBron James is universally regarded as the best player in the NBA. Kevin Durant is 1A, but LeBron is that old top pecking order. He's the top dog.
Okay, so if he's the top dog,
Yep.
then you look at the other top dog, who I think is the top dog, and you say, well, we're sort of the same guy. We do the same thing, so I don't need him because I'm him. I'm better than him. That should be LeBron's mentality, which is why you said the other D. We'll take Anthony Davis because Anthony
We might
Davis,
still be able to get him. Because they might take Giannis. He might take, Steph Curry might take Boogie Cousins.
Okay,
so we still might get AD.
I know, but why wouldn't you let Steph have
No,
Kevin Durant?
no,
let him have him.
Skip.
Because now you have a chance to make a little statement on the All-Star
I ain't
stage.
trying to make no statement.
Well, why not?
My statement will be made on Sunday night at the All-Star game when
Okay.
my team beats your team.
Okay, but I would like your team's chances if you took Anthony Davis instead of Kevin Durant, and I'll tell you why. What was the single best game, best performance, the greatest performance I saw in the first half of this NBA basketball season? What was it? It's hands down what I saw January 16th at Boston on some weeknight when you least expected
I like
it.
boogies.
No,
Oh, so
no.
you don't like Boogie 44-24?
No, wait a second. Against the number one defense in Boston, against those Celtics who were riding high at that point. They've been riding a little low here lately.
Yeah.
They finally broke back through and won last night against the Clippers here in L.A., but they lost 4 in a row. But at that point, they were riding high.
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony Davis went in and was completely unguardable by the number one ranked defense. He went for 45 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
He had just the previous night at New York against the Knicks, he had destroyed them with similar numbers. I think it's 47 and 15.
Yep.
Okay? And do you remember who the MVP of last year's All-Star game was?
Anthony Davis.
Thank you. He scored 52 points in that game. A lot of them
48
dunks.
was dunks.
Most of them dunks. Okay, I'll give you that, but
Because-
that's what this is.
Where was the game held at? In New Orleans, and normally if the home team has a
Fine.
player, they normally try to get him the MVP.
They
Skip, you know
usually
how
do.
this goes.
I do know how, but there's no home advantage here. It's at Staples.
That's right. And we try to win.
If Lonzo were playing, then he'd be the MVP of the game.
Well, good
right?
luck with that.
Okay, well, he would be. But the point is, if you take Anthony Davis, then you force Steph to take Kevin Durant, which is fine. Then guess what? You got another pick. You got free range. You got the whole
We
show.
got free range anyway.
Yep.
Anyway, you know why? Because the fans said, you are the best, LeBron, so we're going to give you all the votes because we want you to pick first. I got first pick. I'm picking Kevin Durant. So stop trying to talk me out of it, Skip, because it's not going to work.
I'm trying to talk you into it because it's the obvious, rational, right way to go.
Nope.
You send a message to those two guys in Golden State, I don't need you. I'm going to beat you without that guy, and I'm going to take Anthony Davis, and then you get to fire again. You want Greek Freak?
No,
You can have Greek
I
Freak.
want KD.
Don't take KD.
I'm taking KD.
Why would you? You look weak. You look small. You look like.
Skip, think about this here. Let me ask you a question, Joey. So I'm just going. Let's go to the business world. Let's say Apple, Microsoft, Google. Nah, we don't want the guy that graduated with the 5.0 at MIT. We want the guy that got the C's at the community college because we want to be competitive.
We want the guy who kicked your ass in the finals last year.
No,
right?
that's why I want
what
him
you
on my team. I want him on my team.
Is that the guy you want?
I want him.
Oh, so is it the old keep your friends close but your enemies closer? It's classic
I'm
LeBron.
trying to win.
If he takes Kevin Durant, it's classic. Hey, you're my buddy. You know, we're best friends over here. Come on.
Me and
come over
LeBron
to me.
James don't have buddies.
Yeah.
All our buddies run rabbits and howl at the moon. So you know what my buddies are. All of them dogs. So Kevin Durant, you going first.
Yep.
Come on to Staples and link up, and we're going to win this.
So you're not getting the order because LeBron's going to have advantage because he
Yes.
gets to pick again and again before Steph.
Yes.
So if it goes like I'm pretty sure it would, Steph would take KD. Then let's say you take.
How does Steph take KD and he's not picking first? Steph's not picking first. LeBron's picking first.
No, okay, I'm just saying this is look
that's
at
what you
the
want.
team you could assemble because you keep putting him at a disadvantage. So he has to take his teammate Kevin Durant. So then let's say you take Greek Freak. Okay, then what's he going to do? Does he have to take a big guy? Does he take DeMarcus Cousins? That's okay because that leaves you James Harden. So now you're really good. And then what's he going to do? Take Kyrie? It's okay.
We're
You
going
can
to
have Kyrie.
How about this? How about we take KD? You take AD, we take Giannis. You take Boogie, we take James. Okay, what's the problem, Skip?
Again, the problem is that you're admitting defeat to
No,
Kevin
I'm not
Durant.
reading no Skip. Stop playing.
Yeah, you are.
No, you're
You are.
not.
Yeah, no, seriously. So in the bigger picture, Well, your team is better if you take Anthony Davis because you're going to be left with better players that way.
That's okay. We good. I like my starting five. I like my five with me, KD, Giannis.
You're not going to get Giannis.
Yes, we are.
No.
What you mean we're not going to get him?
If you're okay, go ahead. If you take, I got you.
We got KD.
Okay. All right.
You take Giannis. We'll take AD. You take Boogie. We'll take James Harden. You take whoever. We're going to take whoever you don't want, Skip. How about that? That's how I would do it, Joe. Whoever you don't want. We got KD. Who else you want?
Okay, here's what I wind up with. If you take Anthony Davis first and I'm LeBron James, that would be something if I were LeBron James.
No.
And then I'm going to get Greek Freak, I'm going to get Harden, and I'm going to get DeRozan, who's not a bad player in an all-star game because he can run and dunk, okay? And it's going to leave Steph with KD. He's probably going to have to take DeMarcus Cousins. He'll wind up with Kyrie, and maybe just because he's left on the board and Steph's picking last, he's going to have to take another big guy because there are three big guys, and he would take Joel Embiid. Okay, so whose team do you like better? I got LeBron, Anthony Davis, Greek Freak, Harden, and DeRozan versus Steph, KD, Cousins, Kyrie, and Embiid. I like that team better.
I like my team. I like Bron, KD, Greek Freak, Harden, and DeRozan. No, as a matter of fact, I'm going to take Kyrie to let you know we don't have no bad blood, that I could have worked through anything.
So you're just going PR, right?
I'm going win, win, win.
Yep. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. You're just sending messages. I can't beat you, so I'm going to join you. And, hey, my little brother, I need you to come back and be with me here so I can show there's no bad blood to the people out there who buy all my products because I'm LeBron James and I'm still a really good guy. Is that what you're
saying?
Why
are you doing that, Skip?
I'm just telling you. That's what you're saying.
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you know what? You are correct. You are speaking for LeBron because that's exactly what he's going to do, and it will be wrong.
My objective is to win the game. We're getting out of hand. They were scoring 97 points at the half. They were having 370-something points scored. And it's like it was unwatchable. So they said, this is what we're going to do. Because, Skip, the West was at a decided disadvantage. They had, an advantage because they had AD, they had Boogie, they had Durant. And the two tallest players that the East had was Giannis and LeBron. And then everybody else. So how do you guard 4 7-footers when your tallest guy is 6'9"? So, Adam Silver came and said, you know what? Let's have this whole draft lottery. The leading vote getter get the picks first. Because you know why he said that, Skip? Because he knew Obama was going to be leading vote getter. He knew. Everybody knew that. Everybody up and look at Giannis. He leading LeBron in the first round of voting. What happened? Beat the bricks off him. So now, since I get to choose first, this is what I'm going to do. See, this is how you do, Skip. If I got a choice, okay, pick any car you want. I got a Bugatti, I got a Ferrari, I got, Lamborghini, or I got a Bentley truck, whatever. I'm picking first. I get to pick whatever I want. Don't you try to entice me to take something because you want it. That's what you do, Joe. If I was you, I'd go ahead and get this one. No, you don't want me to have that one because you want it. No. And I'm taking KD, and that's final. That's my final answer.
Okay. So, by the way, just for the record, the leading vote getter in the All-Star game is now the best player on a team that is 3-10 in its last 13 games. And that leading vote getter in the second halves of those 13 games in plus-minus is a -98.
Skip,
and that is the worst. Wait a second. That's the worst in the entire NBA over that 13-game stretch out of 434 total players. That guy is the leading vote getter. You like that?
Skip.
Are there not a lot of blind witnesses?
Yo, you see what Skip did? You see what he did?
Rampant blindness.
This was about hold on.
You brought it up.
I didn't know that. Who should LeBron take with the first pick? You used this as a chance to take a swipe at the man.
You opened the door and I ran through it as usual because you were saying, we're the leading vote getter.
We are.
And I don't know
how do we get to pick first?
But I accept that. But I ask you, in a vacuum, in an all-star game, who is the better player, Anthony Davis or Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant.
That's wrong.
Kevin Durant.
Wrong. No. You know it and I know it.
I want KD.
You know why? Kevin doesn't have any selfishness in him.
Neither does Bron.
Listen.
That's why we like playing with KD. You remember what we did in the Olympics in 2012, Skip? Good old time. We were moving that ball around. Wop, wop. Yeah, we on KD.
Anthony Davis is an all-star game beast.
And he deserves to be there. And I'm happy for him. He's going to be a starter. But he ain't going to be on my team just yet. Now, Skip, we still might get KD and AD because Steph Curry might take Boogie, he might take Giannis. You never know. But he better not. Skip, now you know this over. If we get KD, AD, and LeBron, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Well, you're not going to get them.
Okay, but that's all right. We'll get KD. We'll take KD and Greek Freak. KD and Greek Freak.
Have you been in touch? Have you
Me
been
and
counseling?
Ron, I'm going to the game. I want to see this. I want to see this the first time. Think about it. The first time under this format. So we go back 20 years from now when they're still doing it like this. You get to pick who's the first guy. Pick KD, and that's an honor, Skip. That's an honor to go first. Being first overall pick. I mean, the number 2 pick is okay, and sometimes the number 2 pick pans out better than the number 1 pick, a la Marshall Faulk. But Skip.
If LeBron James winds up with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, he will once again show nothing but weakness. This is what I don't like about him. Draw a line in the sand. Say, I'm better than you, and I'm better, and I'm done with you. That's what you should say.
Skip.
Better and done with.
Skip.
Kyrie left him high and dry.
That's okay.
Look at the Cavs now.
Skip, the first to forgive is always the happiest.
This is
the first to apologize is always the bravest.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
This is about winning championships.
We're trying to win an All-Star game.
No, in the end, you're trying to win a championship.
This is not for no home court advantage like in baseball.
You're trying to send messages to rivals, to your rival Celtics and to your rival, ultimately, Golden State. I don't need you and I don't want you.
Did you see that?
Just watch what happens. And you know, you're going to be right. He will wind up, just book it. Kevin Durant and Kyrie will be on LeBron's team because he's going to sell out and say, come back. I forgive. You're better than me. You're the greatest.
Skip, why you do that?
I'm just telling you how it works. This will be classic. Trust it. That's what will happen. You're right. You are speaking for LeBron James.
No, I'm not speaking for LeBron.
I'm telling you what he should do because this is a better way to win this game and send the correct message.
No, we send the correct message. We get KD, myself, Giannis, DeRozan, Harden. That's a great message. And we're going to get Russ, too. Because we know Steph Curry ain't going to pick Russ. First pick of the second pick of the second round. Russell Westbrook on that good old team with Ron.
And then it flips and Steph's got the first pick.
Yeah, he got. You think he's taking Russ?
No, I think he would take Clay and Draymond as soon as he could.
Take them. Take them. Yeah. Take them. We're going to beat the brakes off you, too.
I mean, if Steph had his way, he would just start his teammates. If he could do that, he would just start his 4 teammates.
That's all good.
And they'd say, we'll just go kick all
That's all PR. Yeah. So that should tell you right there. Look, think about it, what LeBron's up against. There's 12 players in the All-Star game, and the Warriors got 4 of them. And that's what LeBron's up against. You talk about if he's the best player, he should be able to take them down. Stop it, Skip. We taking KD. So you need to get on past that.
So you're acknowledging that KD is now better than LeBron?
No.
Why not?
No.
You are too.
No.
You are too.
So let me ask you a question.
How many sides of your mouth do you have?
Let me ask you
got like a multi-sided mouth.
Let me ask you a question. If you could do this and they were doing this at the Pro Bowl and Tom Brady had a choice between Hogan, Julian Edelman, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, who do you think he's taking first?
Amendola.
You got
That's all he needs is Amendola.
You got
give him the 5'11", 185-pound, undrafted 4'7", 40 guy, and he'll still beat you.
Skip.
You know it, and I know it.
Okay, we're going to take a 7-foot guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
so?
KD. There's another one, Anthony Davis, available.
Yeah, KD's probably taller than AD. He probably is.
Yeah, so that's what we need. We need height on our team.
Okay, you need the best player on the planet.
No. The best player on the planet is selecting.
No, he's selecting the best player on the planet.
He's selecting
and then he can ride shotgun for the best player on the planet. And he's like, I'm okay now.
When does LeBron James ever roll shotgun? He always in the catbird seat. You know that, I know that.
Until clutch time with Kyrie Irving, and then it was like, here, you do it.
Oh, my goodness. Skip, why you
There's no Kyrie.
So what about the other night? I done saw in the last four games, Kyrie's done missed 2 last-second shots. So what's going on, Skip?
We'll see in June, won't we?
Yeah, we're going to see.
Because they're going to meet in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to see.
I told you.
By the way, I saw a little flash. Gordon Hayward traveling with the team now. I don't know what's happening. Shooting before the game. Looked like he's walking pretty well.
Didn't I tell you I was out on the Cavaliers until something happened?
Wait. What?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. You're not getting it. You're not
That
getting
lasted
out
like
that
4
easy.
seconds.
I'm out.
Absolutely not.
Skip, get out. If Skip said, look, if Dez is there, I'm out. You got out of the Cowboys, but you want me to stay.
No, but he said that before the season started.
Well, I didn't know Isaiah was going to come in and in 25 minutes average 15 shots a game.
He told you.
No, you talked it in.
We tried to warn you.
Oh, he said he's going to average 30. I told you to stop speaking that into existence because that's exactly what he's trying to do. And he's upsetting me.
No mercy.
Yeah, you got to get at least one ring.
Brian Windhorst reports LeBron has upset the Cavs, traded for Isaiah Thomas in the offseason instead of Paul George and Eric Bledsoe. LeBron reportedly aggressively recruited George to come to Cleveland, and the Cavs had a deal in place that would have gotten them Bledsoe and George, but it was nixed by Phoenix. The Cavs went on to send Kyrie to Boston for Isaiah and other pieces. So, Shannon, what do you make of this?
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Because under any analytics, any metric that you use, Isaiah Thomas is not the player that Paul George is. And here's the problem with Isaiah, and you've said this and I've said this. If he's not giving you 30 points, he's of no use to you because he can't rebound the basketball, he can't assist the basketball, and he couldn't guard a piggy bank with an AK. So what use is he if he can't give you 30 points, Skip? He's playing 25 minutes a game, but he's getting up over 14 shots per game. That's the problem. Skip, of the Cavs starting 5 has the worst net rating of any 5-man lineup out of 73 lineups that have played 100 minutes. That's the worst.
Wait, it includes the best player on the planet?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
But when
there are only 5 in the lineup.
Yeah.
So why isn't the best player lifting that lineup a little higher?
Yeah, but Skip, I don't care how even the strongest man back get weak when you got to carry something for long periods of time. Even a camel. They say even a straw can break the camel's back. You know where that saying come from, Skip?
Especially when the camel's old.
This camel here got like 4 humps.
But this camel we're talking about is running out of gas.
You know what? This is about IT. There you go. And see, every chance you get, LeBron has every right to be upset because I'm trying, and he's trying to understand, like, hold on, wait a minute. We're getting a guy that's banged up. We don't know if and when he's going to be able to play. We don't know if and when he'll ever be the same player that we saw last year. And you're going to trade a 25-year-old big shot maker, big shot taker, handles as good as anybody's ever had, 25 points a night guy, for a 5'9", injured, ball dominant, and if he's not scoring 28 to 30, he's of no use to you? What analytics, what metrics did you use?
You left out the linchpin piece of that deal.
I don't care nothing about that Brooklyn Nets pick.
No, you don't, but your owner does.
Because here's the thing, Joy. I might not be here to play with it, so what use is that to me?
That's what the owner is concerned about.
Well, I'll tell you what the owner should be concerned about. You might have that pick. You remember what happened last time I left and you had all those picks? You remember? Yeah, you stayed in the lottery. That's how you got Wiggins. That's how you got Bennett.
Well, do you love Kyrie or not? Because they had Kyrie, obviously.
Skip.
You miss him now.
You know why I love Kyrie. But Kyrie no longer wanted to be there. And LeBron was willing to try to work through anything. He was willing to fly to wherever Kyrie was. Timbuktu, Kyrie, I'm on my way. I got the G6 gassed up. We on our way. But Kyrie was out.
Done.
Kyrie had his mind made up. He wanted to dip. So I don't know if Bron could have got a face-to-face sit-down with Kyrie. He could have persuaded him. But at least I know he was willing to try. But for this, look, Skip.
Look at that picture.
No, I don't want to look at it. You came out better and said, okay, I take this what? You want Kyrie? Give me a 10-pound bag of unsalted peanuts. Give me a candy apple and a box of Cracker Jacks. Because that's what they, Skip. You're not winning a title with Isaiah Thomas, Skip. You're not.
Wait, did you just predict they're just finished?
We got to try and move him.
Can you win the East with that little man? Ooh, gotcha. I don't know. I think we got
all faith.
All faith.
I'm about to eat all these Reese's Pieces that's in this bowl right here.
Interesting.
You watch, Skip, you watch it. Because even if you bring him in with the second unit had a great rhythm. They have it going. But guess what? He comes in there, he jacking up all the shots. Fourth quarter hadn't been the same since that joker stepped in the lineup.
Fourth quarter?
Yeah, that's what we called it. Because he come in just letting them threes go, Joey. He come into the lineup, Kyle Korver don't even know what the basket looked like. He can't even get a shot up because he waiting for the ball, and Isaiah, he over there patting the rock, falling down like he on a slip and slide. You saw him Tuesday night. Thought he had roller skates on out there the way he was falling down. 5 times in a row coming down. He, whoa.
Maybe that hip, not quite right.
So what I'm supposed to do with that?
And you knew it going in. You potentially are acquiring damaged goods.
And I believe
Danny Ainge admitted publicly the hip was a big part of why we moved him.
Yeah, think about that, Skip. An even swap ain't no swindle. So if I give you a Ferrari, a brand spanking new Ferrari, and you give me a Lamborghini, that ain't no swindling deal. But if I give you a brand new Ferrari and you give me a beat up pickup truck, that's a swindle. You swindled me. And Dan Gilbert, you let it happen. Bron, I believe Dan Gilbert trying to sabotage you. Sabotage him. Ask for a trade. Say, I want to go to the Houston Rockets.
He just may be doing that right now. We behind closed doors, that could be happening.
Yeah.
My turn?
Yes, your turn.
3 points. Number one, I will agree with you and agree with LeBron that if he had Eric Bledsoe and Paul George, they would be better. A little better, but maybe not a whole lot better. Because I'm going to remind you, the Milwaukee Bucks acquired Eric Bledsoe, and he's been there for 36 games. And what just happened? There's such a disappointment that Jason Kidd got fired.
Yeah.
Okay, so did Eric Bledsoe change life in Milwaukee?
No.
No, he did not. Would he have changed life with the Cavaliers? He is a client of LeBron, so maybe. But I don't think he's going to be the difference maker that you think.
The greatest basketball player, or an argument for the greatest basketball player ever, was in Milwaukee, and he wanted out. Kareem.
Okay.
So you're not winning in Milwaukee because you can't attract the attention. Ain't nobody's going there. Giannis, as great as he is, Skip, you need other pieces.
But you just paired up Bledsoe with Greek Freak, and what happened?
He ain't Bron.
500 happened.
Oh, Greek Freak Bron now?
No, I didn't say that. But I'm saying you had 2 pretty good pieces in the Eastern Conference, and Jason Kidd just got fired.
Yeah.
Okay, so how good is Eric Bledsoe?
I think he'd be a lot better with Bron.
Well, sure, he'd be a little better. He'd be better than that little man, but he's not going to change your life. And Paul George, or as I call him George Paul, he's still a complimentary star. He's not a superstar.
I take Paul George.
I got you, but ask Russell. I wish we could put Russell Westbrook on a lie detector right there about what he really sees in Paul George, because the truth is they all united. It was 3 quote-unquote superstars with Melo and Paul George and Russell. And what's happened? 27-20 has happened, and they've been a first-half disappointment, and they had just won 5 straight games to climb to 27-20.
But Skip, it's hard when you got 3 guys that basically play the same way. They need the ball to do things. What worked so well with Magic and Kareem didn't need the ball dominant. Magic would drop it to him. Bird, McHale, and Parrish, they worked because they were so totally different. You got three of the exact same guys.
Okay, but what did you say yesterday? Paul George does not deserve to be on the All-Star team, right?
No.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean he's not a good player.
Okay, he's a good player. Eric Bledsoe's a good player. But if you give LeBron, Eric Bledsoe, and Paul George right now, are they that much better? Are they ready to challenge Golden State?
Look here, Skip.
Nope.
I take Paul George. I take Curious George. I take Boy George right now over Isaiah Thomas. Skip, he's a net. Skip. He's in 7 starts, he's minus 92 in the minus plus minus. In 7 starts, minus 92. And you talk about LeBron James is 98 in the second half.
He is.
That's why, because he got that 92.
Now we're going to get to the guts of this discussion. So I give you that. They'd be a little better with those 2 players. But why don't they have those 2 players? Because LeBron James would not commit long-term to Dan Gilbert. It's as simple as that. He cut off his nose to spite his face, as the old cliche goes.
If he hadn't traded Kyrie, he would have committed. So once you try to get, I ain't committing to you. So what now? I commit long term. You might trade Kevin Love from under me.
But if LeBron James had committed back in the offseason to give him 3 more years,
I'll give you 1.
Okay, even 1, but 3 would be really nice, because then you could really wheel and deal, because you got your whole card. You got your ace in the hole. You got LeBron.
Yeah.
And you can send out the message, we've got LeBron for 3 more years.
LeBron can send out his own message. LeBron got everybody's number. He got more numbers than Dan Gilbert.
I know, but it's the classic catch-22, or in this case, catch-23, because Dan Gilbert's saying, I got to take a deal that's going to protect me for the future because I don't have LeBron for the future. So he wanted to take the deal from Boston because he got the Brooklyn Nets first-round pick.
Well, let me tell you what's going to happen. When LeBron walks away next year, if that were to happen, you're going to be stuck with that Nets pick. Who says it's going to be the number 1 overall pick?
Nobody.
And Isaiah Thomas.
But you're not going to be stuck with it. You're going to have it.
Let me ask you a question. How many games you think they win with that Brooklyn Nets pick, their pick, and Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder?
Okay, but what's the alternative? The alternative is to be stuck with nothing, to start completely over with nothing.
Yeah,
right?
start from scratch.
Okay, is that what you want?
Yeah, throw everything
great.
out.
All right, well, he's a businessman, so he's not going to operate that way. But if LeBron had committed to him, he'd say, okay, now we can do some things, and maybe that team would look a lot different.
LeBron has given him his word when he came back. LeBron shook his hand like this here. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I can't look you in the eye. I'll be want to slug you. But anyway, LeBron has been a man of his word. He brought a title back. Look at the value of the franchise since he's been back. Take LeBron. This is what I know. I believe if he'd have got Paul George, if you gave him some pieces, LeBron ain't got to tell you what. I mean, LeBron don't know. He ain't promised tomorrow.
Okay,
but I believe
LeBron can't complain about a situation, a dilemma he caused.
Well, how about this here?
He caused it.
Okay, if you want to trade Kyrie, just don't get damaged goods in return. How about that? Can we agree on that?
It was the pick that Dan Gilbert wanted more than the player.
Skip!
Because he thinks LeBron is going to walk on him again.
Mike.
He will.
What? No, LeBron told. We got an agreement, Skip. We got a handshake deal that when LeBron's done, we're gonna be able to buy the Cavs.
So you can't have it all. You can't have
Why
it
can't
both
you?
ways because LeBron still insists on taking max money.
Yes!
And I'm going to remind you once again, the great Tim Duncan in his last 4 years averaged under $10 million a year for those 4 years and took $6 million in the final year.
Tim Duncan in his best wasn't as good as LeBron James.
Oh, he was pretty great.
And everybody keep talking about, you want your cake and eat it too? Hell yeah, that's why I bought it. I want cake, pie, whatever else I want to eat. Skip Bayless, you need to stop
Who has
this.
more championships, Tim Duncan or LeBron James?
Oh, who's the best? So not championship. So that how we qualified?
Well, you want to talk about leader? I'll take as a leader of the franchise. I'll take Tim Duncan over LeBron James.
Bill Russell is the greatest basketball player of all time.
No, but I'm just
Why
saying.
not?
Tim Duncan.
Who has more championships, him or Michael Jordan?
Who's a better leader, Tim Duncan or LeBron James? You know I got you on that one.
LeBron.
It's Tim Duncan. It is not. LeBron's a terrible leader.
Let me ask you a question.
He's always finger pointing, blame deflecting.
Let me ask you a question. If LeBron James had Greg Popovich for 15 years, does he have less or more than 3 titles?
You think LeBron could play for Pop for that long?
Yeah!
I just don't know if Pop would put up with him for that long.
What you mean put up with him?
The drama queen? My God.
A guy that's in the number 2 slot on Mount Rushmore, you talking about put up with. Some things you just do, Skip Bayless.
No mercy. The Eagles are still underdogs in the Super Bowl, but they're not as big of an underdog as earlier this week. The MGM said they've taken twice as many point spread bets on Philly as New England, and Westgate now has the line down to 5. We're joined now by Ty Law, who won 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots.
And by the way,
he's a finalist for the Hall of Fame.
Yep, way to go. And you're the one cornerback that could have covered that tight end, right?
we played a couple of times. A couple times. Yeah, and 03 and 02 after y'all won.
Yeah, when you called the president on us. You know.
I
was there when you called the president.
That was the 90s.
Yeah, man. You tried to play us on the tube like that.
I'm sorry.
What was that?
I called the National Guard.
Yeah, you called the National Guard.
Yeah, Skip.
You called it on the Patriots?
Yeah.
Oh, they put it on us. Though.
Yeah. Did you get even?
So.
No, Jacksonville knocked us out. That was the year that Jacksonville knocked us out, and they beat
Jacksonville got even with you.
Yeah.
Mark Brunell
Yeah,
got
I
even
think they.
with you.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, way to go. He still says that's the worst defeat he ever suffered.
Yeah, it is. You never get over the losses.
Ty, why do you think there are so many bets on the Eagles?
I really believe because everyone wants to see the Patriots lose. I mean, that is the honest to God truth. It's not about Nick Foles and how he's playing, and he played well, and it's not about their underrated defense. It's all about people wanting to see the Patriots fail right now, and I really believe that.
Well, if you look at it, all the Patriots, all the Super Bowls they've been in, it's been fairly close. No matter how great Tom Brady's been, and he's been great in a lot of them, all the games come down, with the exception of last year, to 4 points or less. Last year was 6 because they scored in overtime. But all of them have been 4 points, and they're like, well, hold on. You going to give me 5.5? Knowing what I know? Okay, I'm going to take that. Now, it says that a lot of these bets, these $1 million+ bets, have come to take the Eagles head up. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that.
Do that either. Taking the spread.
If you're going to give me 5.5, Skip, I'm probably going to take the 5.5 points. But when you look at it, I thought the line would be at least 7. For the simple fact, Tom Brady in his 37th start, Nick Foles in his 4th start. This team has been together. Coach Belichick, Brady, they've been together for 18 years. This is, they got pedigree. I mean, they were just in the Super Bowl last year. And so 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls has been occupied by the Patriots. So I thought the line would be at least 7, given that. But a lot of people feel that what the Eagles can do as far as run the football, maybe get after the quarterback. But 5.5, that's still a lot of points for a Super Bowl.
Yep.
It is a lot of points, but you got to think about the history. Like you said, it's always been a close game.
I'm with Ty on this. There's a lot of Brady hate out there. There's a lot of Patriot hate.
But they don't normally put their money up, though, Skip.
No.
Those guys that put their money up, they don't give it.
I agree with you, but there's a lot of sick and tired of the Patriots. And in my very small sample size, wherever I've gone on the west side of Los Angeles over the last 3 days, everybody I see on the street or wherever I am, Eagles going to do it. Eagles going to do it. And I say, you realize the other team has that number
guy.
12 guy?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but they're going to do it. And everybody's caught up in what Nick Foles pulled off, because that was maybe beyond Brady. That was a game he played against the number 1 ranked defense. He was brilliant. So I'm going to say it again. You look at his career, Nick Foles, and I know he's fallen off the map here in the last couple of years, but his overall stats for his career, 66 touchdowns to 29 interceptions. Well, if I told you that about anybody this side of Tom Brady, you'd say, that guy's really good, right? So now he's played 3 playoff games, has Nick Foles, and he's completed 75% of his passes. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
5 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. So he's played 3 playoff games and thrown 0 picks. Well, that's okay. That'll work. So if he doesn't throw it to the Patriots a week from Sunday, does that give the Eagles a shot?
It increases, doesn't guarantee, but it does increase their chance. And for me, Skip, I might want something to happen, but I ain't gonna bet and hope that it happens. When you put your money down, Skip, with guys that bet money, Skip, they don't care anything about the Patriots. They trying to win. They don't bet like, I dislike Tom Brady, that's why I'm gonna put my $500,000
Right.
up.
The same person that put up that $1 million against the spread is not going to put that same $1 million up one-on-one on an even matchup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're taking the odds.
I got it. So Coach Belichick did yesterday exactly what he did before the Jacksonville game. He broke down the Eagles, but he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah.
And Fletcher Cox is a bad man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is going to disrupt 2 blockers.
Right.
In fact, I think their pass rush is more severe, like Belichick was saying. They come at you in waves because they go about 9 deep in the line. And that it's harder to block them for 4 quarters probably than it is the Jaguars.
Right.
But would you say that defense is better than the Jaguars defense, though? Because I think about when you go against the Patriots.
Top to bottom, no. The Jags are better.
The key to the Patriots, you have to be able to match up with them on the outside. You have to have those type of cornerbacks. So you can put pressure on Tom Brady just like any other quarterback in this league. I don't care if you're talking about Peyton Manning or anybody else. You put pressure on the quarterback, it's going to disrupt him. But do you have the defensive backs to cover on the outside?
Because you got to make him hit.
Exactly.
Because the likelihood of you getting to a quarterback without him taking a hit is not very good. Because they're getting the ball out of the hand in 2.3, 2.5,
Right.
2.7 seconds. So you got to make him hitch at least once. So the DBs got to disrupt that guy's timing.
Right.
See, the thing is, the problem that Jacksonville didn't put hands. I couldn't understand.
They let
it.
off after the first half. They played the right type of football in the first half. But then all of a sudden, I don't know if they got cold feet and they start backing up.
I tell you, after the Jacksonville at Pittsburgh game, I said I was shocked at how little pressure Saxonville got on Ben the whole game.
Right.
Because they sacked him twice, but they didn't hit him very much. And down the stretch, he's just playing backyard football.
But I can see why they was playing Pittsburgh like that, because they got Juju, they got AB, and they got Martavis. They got 3 guys that can get deep in a hurry. So when you got a lead like that, Skip, the first thing the D coordinator is going to tell you, son, nothing cheap, nothing deep. keep everything in front of them, they run out of time.
But the front four was not getting to Ben.
Yeah, but
you don't have AB. Those guys on the Patriots right now, so try to take advantage of that, especially when Gronk was out. You really had to take advantage of that when Gronk was out.
Put hands on it.
Okay, but I will bet you Tom Brady will take more hits in this game than he took in the Jacksonville game.
They lead the league in hits and pressure. Give you a prime example. When you guys played in that first Super Bowl against the Rams, the greatest show on turf, y'all play cover two because you weren't worried about you play a lot of 22 man, you play a lot of cover two because you weren't worried about Kurt running anywhere.
Exactly.
But you knew you had to disrupt that time.
We had to put our hands on them. We was up in their face all game. So when you do that and you take out Marshall Faulk, we always had somebody on Marshall Faulk as well. We're going to put somebody on him to hit him, and we're going to take care of the receivers. But you have to have the confidence to be aggressive. And for whatever reason, Jacksonville didn't do that. Philly, if they don't have the confidence to go out there and be aggressive, Tom Brady's going to pick you apart because he doesn't rely just on a receiver. He just doesn't rely on Gronkowski. He uses the running backs and whoever's open.
Right.
Okay, but the people betting heavily on Philly are looking at Philly's offense and saying, hey, Nick Foles isn't that bad.
Right.
And they're saying, wait a minute, the Eagles' running game is much better than the Patriots' running game, and the Eagles' group of receivers, including Zach Ertz and all those other tight ends, is better than Brady's core of receivers. And the offensive line, the Philly offensive line, it's at least as good as the Patriots, if not.
Are you counting Gronk as a receiver? Or
I'm counting him. No, I'm counting him as a receiver. The group, because Alshon's, you don't talk about a monster. He's pretty difficult to deal
The thing that Coach Belichick does a great job of, Ty, and you can attest to this, whatever you do really well, he's going to try to take the number one threat away. Right. So if you have a number one receiver, he'll try to eliminate him. Right. If you have a strong running game, he'll try to eliminate that. The thing about the Eagles, they don't have one great dynamic, any offensive weapon. Alshon is okay, but he's not A.B. or Julio.
Right. He doesn't scare you.
Right. The running backs are not Le'Veon Bell or Shady McCoy. Right. The tight ends are solid. Now, I like Ertz. I like their tight ends. They go about three deep. Selleck, Burton.
Ertz is better than solid.
No one scares me on that Philadelphia offense. No one is going to say.
They're solid.
They're solid. That's about it.
Nobody just like, man, whew, bro, we got a handful today with that joker.
Aguilar would scare me.
No.
He can fly, man.
No.
He's
a slot guy. He's good in the slot, but he's not keeping Coach Belichick up at night.
Right.
Ty sounds like he's making a case for a Patriot route.
I'm not saying it's going to be a route, but I do think the Patriots have an advantage going in. It would probably be different if they were playing Pittsburgh. I would still say they would find a way to win because they seem to always find a way to win.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's no AB. There's no Ben Roethlisberger. There's none of those threats out there that the Patriots can't find a matchup on. You know what I mean? It's not hard.
You realize Minnesota had the number one ranked defense statistically. I thought on eye test Jacksonville was a little better.
Right.
But number one statistically, and they went in there and got doors blown completely off. Yeah. It was 38-7.
But that avalanche, Tom Brady won't allow that avalanche to happen. And see, I told you, if they ever got the game close or they got the lead on Case Keenum, you got to realize what Case Keenum is. Mm-hmm. But that monster right there, number 12.
But remember, Case Keenum went right down the field and scored.
On the first drive.
Yeah.
And then he threw that pick six, and it shook his confidence. You can't shake that.
You can't shake his confidence,
Skip.
And even in the fourth quarter, I believe if Patriots are within 14 points in the fourth quarter, they're going to have a chance to come back with number 12.
Well, that says it all.
Yeah.
Okay, but all the people betting on Philly will say, please get me to the fourth quarter with 14 plus the 5.
But you can't be that confident with that man.
They'll take the 10.
Right.
That's 15 and a half points.
Those are the points. No mercy. Tom Brady has thrown 15 touchdown passes in his 7 Super Bowl appearances, but the Patriots have not scored a point in the first quarter of those Super Bowls. Belichick was asked about that yesterday and answered it just like you'd expect. Let's take a listen.
In the Super Bowls in the past, you guys haven't scored in the first quarter.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah.
Sorry to remind you.
Yeah.
But how?
And all the negative stuff in the Super Bowls we need to be aware of too.
How much do you look at that history and this week and say, do something?
We try to score in every game. I know that's probably hard to understand, but we try to go out and score and keep the other team from scoring. That's our goal every game.
Would you put in any extra time or change anything just to highlight that to the team and the importance of that this week?
I mean, what's important is what happens this week against the Eagles. So we're going to try to score. We're going to try to keep them from scoring.
I think you're right, Shane. I think he gets a reel of all of these press conferences and just sits back with a scotch and laughs at them.
Somebody talking for him because he barely moving his mouth. Somebody in the corner talking to Coach
We're
Belichick.
joined once again by Patriot great Ty Law, but Shannon, why have the Patriots started so slowly?
I think in games like this, I don't believe you can win the game in the first quarter, but you can darn sure lose it. You don't want to go down 15-0, 17-0. So you want to be as conservative as you possibly can. Let's feel them out. Let's not do anything crazy. Let's not leave a guy unprotected and get hit in the back and they get a scoop and score. Let's just see where we are. Yeah, you map out your first 15 plays. You're not going to do anything exotic. The defense is definitely not going to do anything exotic because they don't want to give up a big play in the first quarter. So you kind of feel each other out, and then you play your way into the game and see what happens. But it just goes to show you that they haven't scored, but they won 5 of the 7. That's because guys like Ty Law, getting ready to go to the Hall of Fame, didn't let the opposing team score either. Well, they got 15 points. They got scored, 15-0 in the first quarter in 7 Super Bowls. So that means the defense is not giving up.
So Tom Brady just went along for the ride.
No,
it's about the script. See, people get caught up into the Tom Brady, why is it he's scoring? It's the script. I remember being injured, and I'm up in the press box.
Yeah.
I mean, in the owner's suite with Mr. Kraft.
Yeah.
He got the script. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a script it's like 15, 20 plays. So we're going to fill out the other team, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah.
And when you got number 12 back there, it's like, okay, I can afford to do that. We don't have to get out there and score right away.
And think about this, Skip. They haven't scored. They've only outscored 15-0 in first quarters. They gave up 9 points to the Giants in 2011. So in the other four quarters, they ain't been getting up nothing either. So you keep on bumping them, but that old defense been holding tight. Y'all been holding it down.
The defense
Y'all been holding it down.
The defense will hold it down. Now, believe me, if we needed to go out there and score right away, they will probably put more pressure on Tom. Go ahead and get it.
Right.
Okay, we're going to go against script, but when you have a defense that can hold up and when you believe in that and you just want to fill out the team, let's just go with these scripted 15 plays and let's see what happens. And let's fill out this team and what they're going to do.
Interesting. So
Yeah, Skip.
my theory is that Tom Brady is so great that he decides to toy with opponents and set up fourth quarter comebacks.
No.
Why should you go Montana? Montana did it the other way most of the time, except for against Cincinnati. Why would you just blow out Denver and John Elway?
Yeah.
You know, that's just too easy.
No,
right?
that's what I like. I like easy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Tom Brady never likes easy because this has never been easy. The 5 games they've won, they've been a little dicey, right?
That's why.
But a lot of teams go in there with a script.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of teams, and Patriots no different.
Oh, well, maybe somebody should write a better script for Tom Brady then, right? I mean, seriously,
Skip,
I get it.
But you notice the thing.
I mean, every team's
The script is not
like 50.
to not get yards or not score, but it's a scripted.
Don't do anything crazy.
Exactly.
They're not going to be any reverses. They're not going to be any flea flickers in the first quarter, Skip. Let's feel each other out. Let's see what you want to do. Because I want to see what you're trying to do here. What the cat and mouse. I know what I saw you on play because here's the thing. In the Super Bowl, I don't know how you guys did it, but you broke down every single play that team ran from preseason all the way to the championship game. So we looking at everything, and the computer's going to spit out on 3rd and 8. This is what they did this percent of the time. So, you got a script, you're going to say, how close are they to what we saw they were going to do? Because on first down, they didn't play this coverage. They didn't get in this defense. So you're feeling each other out. You want to get a sense, okay, now we're in a rhythm. This is how they're going to play us. Now, they showed us cover 2. They're going to be a heavy cover 2 team. But now they're playing a lot of single high safety. Okay, so now this is how we're going to attack. Hey, show me your hand.
The truth is, this is about the genius of Tom Brady.
Oh, look.
Well, you know it, and I know it, because all you need to do is, I don't care whether script or no script, he could check off to whatever he wants to check off to, but he is going to try this and feel at that. He's going to see how you respond to that and try this. You're going to run the ball just to make sure. How are you going to play the run? How are you going to do this? How many in the box? And after a quarter, he says, okay, he goes over and sits down with Josh, and they look at the pictures, and they say,
it's the genius of Josh McDaniel. I mean, Tom Brady is following the script, but you got to give credit to Josh McDaniel.
I'm not going genius on Josh McDaniel.
Yeah, he is a genius.
Yes, he is.
He is a product of Tom Brady.
Don't do that, Skip.
Oh, come on, Skip.
Josh McDaniel is a genius?
Why, hold on. Can I ask you a question? I just want to know this. This for me. Why you don't want to give anybody? Why does Tom got to get all the credit?
Because nobody
Does
gives him
Belichick
any.
get any credit? What you
No,
say?
he don't give Belichick no credit.
I give him 25%. I do.
25%.
75-25.
No,
And you say
89.
Brady goes along for the ride with the
I
great
give
Bill
I
Belichick.
give Belichick 89%.
Okay.
I took 2% from Mr. Crowd because he.
Yeah. So how great was the Belichick defense in the AFC Championship game against Jacksonville? Because the last time I looked, Blake Bortles threw for almost 300 yards, and they ran for 101 yards.
What they doing?
We never said there was a
Interesting.
great defense. We never said anything about the Patriots being a great defense, but they have that bend but don't break mentality.
Well, they were breaking a lot on
Hey,
Sunday.
do you win with yards or you win with points? Because I know the Jacksonville Jaguars only scored 6 points in the second half, and the Patriots scored 21. Had the Jacksonville Jags scored 21 and the Patriots scored 6, what would have happened, Skip?
What happens is that the defense knows in the fourth quarter it's got the antidote to everything. It's got number 12. So all it has to do is rise to 12's level in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden it's lifted by the fact that we got Brady and you don't.
But if you
Right?
don't
I mean,
stop
there is a sense of comfort when you got Tom Brady back there. He's greatest of all time, of course. But you still have to go out there and do your job.
Yeah.
You still have to go out there and play and make the plays when they count.
But in the like the first Super Bowl, obviously it was 3-0 St. Louis after a quarter. You're 16-point underdog. So that was like a moral victory of you're only
you
down
felt-
3-0, right?
Yeah, you tell me you don't let 'em run high.
But in that Super Bowl, it's going to be about Belichick because it's going to be about Ty Law and it's going to be about your plan on defense because you're going to have to stop the greatest show on turf.
But we were more of a defensive team then.
You were.
Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady then.
No,
we
he
were
was
more
in
of a
his
defensive team.
first year starting. But when the money was on the line, Belichick, again, had the brilliance, if you will, to sit back and say, you know what? John Madden's up in the booth saying, you got to shut it down here and just play for overtime. What did he let Tom Brady do in the last drive? He threw it 5 times for 5 big completions to set up Vinatieri.
Well, I'll tell you what that was. Hell, we was tired on defense. We was tired, so guess what?
Good.
Get the game
You
over
should
with.
have been
The
tired.
time is running out.
We don't want
tired right
overtime.
now. We ain't want to go back out
The
there.
Rams played that all wrong too.
Exactly.
Because they started laying off and let Tom check the ball down, and he was picking up chunk yards.
He wasn't
like that.
throwing downfield. It was all check downs. It was the guys that you wasn't expecting to make the play.
No mercy. The Patriots have released their first injury report ahead of Super Bowl 52, and Rob Gronkowski was listed with a concussion that he suffered Sunday against the Jags. Gronk's injury happened late in the second quarter with the Patriots down by 11, and they came back to win without him. Bill Belichick was asked about Gronk's status yesterday. Let's take a listen.
Can you give us an update on Rob Gronkowski? Has he finished his concussion protocol? Do you expect him to play?
Yeah, we'll be compliant with the NFL injury report, and when that's required, we'll put it on there.
When is that process completed, finished?
When's what process finished?
The concussion report, the
Whatever his situation is, whatever his status is, we'll put it on the injury report. We'll make sure the first one to get it.
I'm sure you will. Do you expect him to play?
Not a problem.
Do you expect him to play?
We'll put it right on the injury report, and that's what we're going to do,
Okay.
just like everybody else does. We'll make sure you're first on the list too, Stacey.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I don't want to hold anything back here. Get that out there right away.
I know you don't.
That's all we can do.
We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Welcome, Greg. Good morning.
Good morning.
First, Skip, how much do the Patriots need Gronk?
Greg Jennings, my friend Shannon Sharpe across the table has pushed my button on this and finally angered me, and I've gone completely, perhaps, over the edge. But I don't think so. I have thought about this, and I have decided that the Patriots are a little better without Rob Gronkowski. But I will admit that I believe Shannon Sharpe is attempting, between the lines, to undercut and discredit Tom Brady's greatness by elevating Rob Gronkowski's greatness, because he's calling this uncoverable monster the greatest receiving force in pro football. And that may be true, but to a fault, I believe Brady becomes Gronk-centric and forces way too many balls to a double-covered Rob Gronkowski. And by the way, I'm just looking at the video a second ago of the ball that he did catch and then got blasted on by Barry Church. That's a forced throw to me. Like, it's, you know what's going to happen. You can just see it. He's doubled, and you throw it, and it works. He caught it, but you know he's set up for the worst, right? It's what the Cowboys used to call a medicine ball. I don't know if you guys ever heard that term. You know, like you throw it up, you just know your receiver is going to pay dearly for that one, right? So, to me, I like them better when it forces Tom to spread the ball. I think they're harder to defend. They're overall more effective without that big beast number 87 running down the middle of the field because he can't run past you. His yards after catch aren't going to be devastating the way they might be with the Brandon Cooks or any of the other receivers. And I just look at the numbers. What happened on Sunday? Tom had thrown for 112 yards before Gronk got hurt. No touchdowns, and they trailed 14-3. Then Gronk goes out, and all of a sudden he throws for 178, and they win the rest of the game 21-6. I know you said earlier, yeah, there's only 6, and so Belichick's defense rose and shone from that point on. But Tom Brady scored 21 points without Rob Gronkowski, and he threw the winning touchdown pass to little Danny Amendola, 2 touchdown passes to Danny Amendola. And then I look at last year. Obviously, they did not have Gronk for the last 8 games. They're down 28-3 in the Super Bowl, and I'm suggesting right now that if Gronk is there in that Super Bowl, that Tom's forcing too many balls to a double-covered 87 trying to get back in the game instead of bing, 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 James White, Amendola, Edelman obviously was there, and you're spreading the ball and even harder to defend, and they came back from 28-3 down because in the fourth quarter and overtime, he threw for 246 yards without Gronkowski. So I can just show you he can be a little more effective without Gronk. That's not to discount the greatness of Gronk. It just works a little better with all of his little spare parts that he has because the sum of the whole of the spare parts is harder to cover than just forcing the ball to 87 in double coverage.
Well said.
Thank you.
Very well said.
And
I agree
convincing.
with you.
Oh.
I do. I don't
Mr.
think
Hall
that
of Fame tight end.
I don't think the Patriots need Rob Gronkowski. They've proven to be able to win with him. To your point, typically when you have a safety net that a quarterback uses as a safety net, he's going to go to that guy. He typically locks in on that receiver or that tight end or that player more than what he typically should. And so when I look at what they were able to do last year, James White, Dion Lewis, all these guys were able to step up. Even when you look at them moving forward this year, now Rob Gronkowski, he's going to play.
I assume he will.
He will play. He missed last year. Every player wants to be missed. And so when he's standing on the sideline and he's looking at his counterparts, does he wish that they're successful? Absolutely. But in the back of your mind, I don't care who you are, you want to feel like they need me out there. But what happens when Rob Gronkowski goes out, or any player, Edelman for that matter, it becomes a coaching match. And it becomes about personnel groupings and taking advantage of your matchups. That's what the Patriots do better than any team in the NFL. You'll see more 21 personnel, which means you'll have 2 running backs, Dion Lewis and James White, coming out of the backfield, putting pressure on those linebackers, making them cover them, versus the two tight ends, which is 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends, or 11 personnel, 3 receivers. So you have so many different personnel that you have to now commit to, which, again, it allows for so many other players to now come into the fold, and now you have to focus on an array of players and personnel groupings versus one player. Now, having said all that, they would love to have him. They want him to play.
But
he wants to play. But they don't need him to play. I wouldn't even go as far as saying they are a better team with him. Defensively, when you're scheming, it's a greater challenge, I believe, when you have Rob Gronkowski on the field, just because when you have a player that requires more than one guy to give attention to, you change your whole scheme. You're telling me one guy is going to take 2 of your guys' attention. That leaves everybody else practically one-on-one. That's where Tom Brady is at his best. And I think with Rob Gronkowski out, it spreads everything out, it opens everything up, and now you have to cover everybody because everybody now is a viable option any given play, specifically in the red zone.
When I look at it, Tom doesn't need anybody. We've seen him go to and win a Super Bowl without Gronk. We see him back again without Julian Edelman. I mean, when you look at it, he hadn't had the the success when he's won Super Bowls, he hadn't had no dynamic. He hadn't had a Julio Jones. The one time he had Randy Moss,
they didn't win it.
They lost the Super Bowl.
And by the way, the last time they played the Eagles, somebody stole the MVP from Tom Brady named Deion Branch. Remember that?
Yeah.
He didn't deserve the MVP. Tom did. But go ahead.
And when you look at it, his interception rate, Skip, is lower throwing to Gronk than any other receiver because of that huge catch radius. He doesn't have to be perfect. You can throw the ball 9, 10 feet high, and because he's 6'7", because you realize, unless there's a defensive end guarding him down the field, he's going to be bigger than everybody else that's guarding him down the field. What he allows you to do is that he allows you, the ceiling is so much higher when Gronk is in the ball game. And as you mentioned, Greg, and I said this earlier, you will pay two guys on him. You better, because if you single him, he will hurt you. And what that does is that now that 5-yard completion that went to James White to Deion Lewis is 10 because the guys are further down the field because they got to pay closer attention to Gronk. Two things can be true. Gronk is a great player. Their ceiling is higher when he's in the lineup. That doesn't diminish Tom Brady. Tom Brady is still great, Skip. I think sometimes we get to the point that we say, well, Tom Brady is only great because of Gronk. No, Tom Brady was great before he even knew Gronk was. He won 3 Super Bowls. He was a league MVP, unanimous, went to all these Pro Bowls. So even if you just take his career pre-Gronk, he's arguably the best quarterback. Well, he's, worst case 2 behind Joe Montana, even pre-Gronk. Now you add Gronk to the mix and you add what he's accomplished since Gronk has been there. It's hard to argue that, Skip. I'm not trying to diminish Tom Brady. You can't even if you try. You can't.
Although I'm as sick of hearing about this as most people are hearing about Tom Brady, but I've heard now for years, oh, it's unfair for Tom Brady. He has the biggest advantage in the NFL in the red zone because it's game over. You just throw it up to 87 and he snatches it. The play of the game the other day against Jacksonville came from the 4-yard line. And I must admit, I'm obviously a Brady fan. I didn't know if he could get the ball in the end zone because, as you know, you pack it in, you got extreme athletes. You got freakish athletes everywhere on that defense.
Windows are smaller. They're not worried about you running go routes because you're going to run up in the stands.
And you do not have an 87 anymore. You got all little guys. And he hit the littlest guy along the back line, and it's just such a great throw and catch. It was a really good catch. But the degree of difficulty on that throw was extreme, but Brady's not going to get credit for it. Like, oh, ho-hum, he did it again. Well, he didn't throw it to 87, right?
Right. But the thing was, Skip, if you look, they lost sight of Amendola, because he's running on the back of the end zone, and Gibson's looking like, I'm like, dude, that's the one thing that I love about the Patriots is that they don't give up on a play. Because they're going to fight you all the way down. If they can push you out of bounds, well, maybe you only get 1 foot. Because what if Gibson's closer and he pushes him out of bounds? He only gets 1 foot in bounds. But he gave up on the play, and he started looking like, what happened? Okay, yeah, one of the linebackers should have sunk deeper because there was not underneath coverage. So both of you guys didn't need to be on the end line. And that's what people don't understand. If you let the guy catch the ball in the end zone, it's a touchdown.
Yeah, what I noticed, even in that AFC Championship game, was once Gronkowski left the field, you saw Tom Brady having to hold the ball a little bit longer. And that allows your defensive line to now create even more pressure. But what it does is it puts pressure on your defensive backs to cover longer.
Yes.
And it tells me that, okay, when Rob Gronkowski is in there, Brady is, when he is in doubt, I gotta go to Gronk. I can go to him. I don't have to. There's no reason for me to hold the ball a few ticks longer. But when he's not available to me, I have to make sure I allow these guys to uncover and force the defensive teams and units to cover longer. That's what that play in the back goal line. Any quarterback makes that play. Athletic quarterback. You don't expect Tom to continue to extend the play that long without a Rob Gronkowski because you know he's just going to put it up and let him make a play. But to your point, to both of your points, in the red zone is where he's missed most.
Even Tom thought he overthrew him. You saw Tom's eyes when he threw the ball. He was like, I overthrew him.
He didn't think that.
He didn't think Amendola.
You're still trying to discredit him.
No. I'm saying Skip, when you 5'8", 5'9" guy, Skip. I mean, you don't have a 10-foot catch radius. So, you know, you got to be a little bit more perfect in that area.
Or is 5'11"?
Who?
I feel like we're always cutting inches off people.
What do they list him
him with Isaiah Thomas.
What do they list him as? He's an inch shorter than what they list.
5'11". I agree with you.
Well, either way, it was a great catch. Greg, thanks for joining us.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.